Good morning. Another car chat this morning. Just wanted to talk a little bit about. I kind of preached a sermon a little bit this morning to my kids, and just wanted to kind of make the same idea this morning. Maybe not all the same words, but certainly the same thought. We were preaching. We were in Deuteronomy 33 this morning, doing our morning Bible studies, and it's the song that God gave to Moses, and it talks all about the heathen, and it talks about what He's done for Israel and how they need to be to be separate from the heathen, different from the heathen. Their rock is not as our rock. One thing I noticed about that, which I know a pastor has pointed out to me in the past, is when you look at those words, the first rock that's mentioned, their rock, is lowercase, and our rock is uppercase. So it's we know who our rock is. It's Jesus Christ. He's the rock of our salvation. But kind of the point I went to was right toward the end. He was talking to Moses. God was talking to Moses, and God told Moses to go up to the mount, and he was going to get a chance to see the land of Canaan, and then he was going to have to die because he wasn't allowed to go in to cross into Canaan. He couldn't cross over Jordan because he did not sanctify the Lord at the waters of Meribah. That's the rock of Meribah, and that gave me a thought, and I just wanted to kind of share it there. Where, first of all, God had the grace to let Moses see the promised land, so he was able to see the promised land. He gave Moses grace, even in the fact that Moses was about to die. But he held Moses accountable. And if he's going to hold Moses accountable, if God holds Moses accountable, how much more will he hold us accountable? How much more will he, make us eat the fruits of our own doings if we don't have a will to obey him? And it said it was because because Moses did not sanctify God at that rock. And the word sanctify, what it really means, it means to be set apart. When you're sanctified, when God sanctifies you, it means to be set apart. So to sanctify God means to set him apart from others. And so when Moses didn't set him apart, didn't sanctify him, that means he did not, in the eyes of Israel, that means Moses did not set God apart to be different from the other gods in the eyes of the Israelites. And that was enough for God to put Moses down before Moses could go into the promised land. As if we're believers, if you are a professing believer, you're in the same boat. You're in the same expectation. We should be living a life that sanctifies God apart from the world, apart from the gods of this world. In our home life, in our work life, if you're going to school, in our school life, In our church, we should be sanctified. We should be separate, set apart from the world. Our church should not look like the world, should not sound like the world, should not be, the music in that church should not be like the world's. And yes, even in our marriage. Even in our marriage, and I've made this comment I don't know how many times, and it's just, once again, it's the same thing. It's the same sermon. We should be living our marriage in a way where it is set apart. There is no good reason why churches, or at least what the world sees as churches, has the same divorce rate, if not, or at least even anywhere near the same divorce rate as the world has. What does that mean? Well, we know that people, that Christians are supposed to be different, but we're still sinners. Everyone knows that Christians are sinners. Do we or do we not have a God who is capable of fixing us, of fixing our marriages, of giving us the grace and the mercy, or changing us enough to allow us to have enough grace and mercy to forgive our spouse? Do we or do we not have a God who's capable of doing that for us? Because if he's not capable of doing that, then one of two things is true. Either he is no different than the world, and I think we all know that's not true. And I think anybody who's an actual believer understands that is anathema to treat God that way. Or the other option is we don't have God. God is not actually in us. Because if God is in us, then we can do all things through Christ, who strengtheneth us. We can do all things, but only through Christ, because he's the one who gives us the strength. So we should be living life in a way that sets God apart from all other gods, from the gods of TV, from the gods of employers, of money, or what the Bible would call mammon, from the gods of mammon or money, greed, from the gods of luxury, of vacations and free time and whatever. We should be living a life apart from that sets God apart from all of that. And if we aren't, we are failing God. We are failing because we are not showing him to be who he is. I really hope this reaches somebody. No one specific, but somebody. I love you guys. I don't know who you are necessarily, but I love you. I love you enough to tell you the truth. Hope you have a good day.